For details of our complete range of podcasts and our terms of use, go to bbcworldservice.com/podcasts.
Why is Africa poor? The question has been bothering our world affairs correspondent Mike Doyle for years, so we sent him across the continent to ask his question. Now he's back with 3 documentaries. Here he presents part 1, Africa and the World.
The vehicle I'm in is a road vehicle, a pickup truck. I'm sitting in the back of it. And this road vehicle is about to do something extraordinary. It appears as though this pickup truck is about to become a train. We're reversing onto the rails. And now the train wheels on this pickup truck have engaged with the track, and now both the tyre and the railway wheel on the bottom of this pickup truck are engaged on the track. The railway runs 250 kilometres from Liberia's Atlantic port of Buchanan inland to the mountains near the borders with Guinea and Ivory Coast. This route is one of many I've travelled across Africa for this BBC series, Why is Africa Poor? The question has fascinated me for a long time. I've been covering Africa for 20 years, and during those years I've, frankly, seen a lot of bad things.
There is fighting, it appears to me, to be going on all over the place. There's smoke coming from mortar rounds that are landing towards the centre of the city, and indeed south of the city there also seems to be almost constant small arms and machine gun fire.
That was during the genocide in Rwanda in 1994. I've also seen anarchy in Somalia and rampant plunder across the forests of the Democratic Republic of Congo. But in the past 2 decades, I've also reported on some amazing, positive changes in Africa. It's a vast continent with a huge variety of peoples, political systems, and even climates. So attempting to draw a continent-wide picture is difficult. But some trends have been clear. The push by Africans for democracy, for example, has toppled many dictatorships. In countries where 20 years ago no one would have dared talk openly to a foreign journalist, people now stand tall and speak out. I met a fisherman, for example, fixing up a boat on the shores of Lake Victoria in East Africa, but he could have been virtually any African today.
The gap between the rich and the poor in Africa, it is still growing. Our leaders, they just want to keep on being rich, and they don't want to pay taxes.
So you're saying that the problem is corruption of the leaders?
It's corruption of the leaders, and they just want to survive for themselves.
These programmes won't bombard you with statistics, but here's just one fact to keep in mind. All of the countries in Africa, except 2, are classified by the United Nations as having a low Human Development Index. In other words, a pretty awful standard of living for most of the population. For this series, I've crossed the continent's poorest sub-Saharan swathe. And I saw that our title, Why is Africa Poor?, is misleading. Africans, the people, may indeed be poor. But Africa, the place, is certainly not. On many parts of the continent, I've held soil in my hands that will grow 3 good crops a year. Africa, as we'll see, is fantastically rich in raw materials, water, sunshine, and people. That's why outsiders have been coming here for hundreds of years to invade, occupy, convert, plunder, and trade. I was reminded of this on another trip I made for this series, as soon as I landed at the airport in Juba, the capital of South Sudan.
Everybody is happy today in Juba.
Everybody is happy, Simon Dengbor explains just outside the airport building, because the former colonial power here, Britain, is returning a cultural icon to the large Nuer tribe. It's a sacred staff of office, or rod. One of your prophets received this rod.
Yes.
From God, was it?
From God. From God, yes.
Okay, and then what did the British do? The British took it.
The British has taken it, and during of the colonized.
It was like colonial bounty, which was taken by the British.
Yes.
To symbolise that they had won the power.
Yeah.
And now you've got the power back, is that right?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
In the past, outsiders have often exploited Africa ruthlessly. This programme will look at the role of some of those outsiders today.
What's going on? It's okay. Is the road open? Oh, okay.
Engineer Mark Wynne works for the giant international iron ore and steel company ArcelorMittal. They're the ones who rebuilt the railway in Liberia I was on earlier. Now, they're working on a mountain road.
Yeah, we're going up this mountain. It's known as Tokadai. It has been mined previously. It was mined by Lamco.
That's the previous company before the Civil War here.
Correct, yeah. They were mining this area when the operation closed down in 1990.
We're high in the mountains of northern Liberia. In the distance I can see neighbouring Guinea and Ivory Coast. Buried here are billions of tons of iron ore, a huge potential source of wealth for post-war Liberia. ArcelorMittal wants to get it out to make steel, using this road and then the railway. We've just stopped right next to a huge yellow, well, it looks pretty huge to me, about maybe 10 metres high, yellow drill on a rig, which is obviously a portable rig with wheels, and then it's been put on a stand and they're drilling a hole. We'll have a look to see what's what. Hello.
Can I just introduce Thomas?
Hello, Thomas. What's your family name?
Boachi Yado.
Boachi Yado.
Yes.
So you're from Ghana?
I'm from Ghana.
Okay, pleased to meet you. Mark Doyle from BBC.
All right. Let's get there and I will show you
can I
the
go a bit
type
closer?
of material
Okay,
we
thank
have
you. And underneath the tape that says danger. In front of me is the drill. So, Mr. Boachi Yado, how long have you been working here?
We've been working for almost a year now. Yes.
Okay. And how does Liberia compare to Ghana?
Actually, I feel at home when I came here. Socially and hospitality, Liberians are very good.
Right.
But in terms of development, I would say Ghana is far ahead.
Yeah, I think
but
so too.
actually, we feel at home. We enjoy working with them. We are taking the advantage, developing the country at the same as finding job for ourselves. Yes.
Do you think this kind of operation really will develop Liberia?
Actually, yes. I would say yes.
Because you know that some people say that just extracting raw materials is not the way forward for Africa.
I will not agree to that 100%.
But how will it help Liberia if this